I want to talk now, Brandon, a little bit about your mindset. And Parker and I, we call it mental fortitude. For you, I think it's really resiliency and how you use resiliency to not just overcome your injury, but to your recent point, be a Olympic training athlete while having full and part-time jobs. I can barely have a full-time job with nothing, let alone do multiple things on top of that. So, how was your resilient mindset used throughout those experiences?
Yeah, I think for me, honestly, the biggest, the biggest change, or I think the biggest shift in order for me to truly become resilient was really two things. And it was, first, really only focusing on what I could control, right? I mean, just really blocking out a lot of the noise and, really just, focusing on truly what I could control. And then second was, finding something that I was passionate about and really, discovering my purpose, right? So when I had an opportunity to, go after this lifetime goal that I had as a kid, again, okay, this is my second chance at, sport. I found an opportunity to, then turn it into become a Paralympic athlete. And it was really what came out of, sport, and it was that purpose of, being able to inspire the next generation and seeing people look up to my story that are in a similar situation as myself or dealing with any type of adversity, and saying, well, if Brandon can do it, why can't I do it? Why can't I, use some of the same, mindset, techniques, or some of the same resources that he used, or the way that he was able to tackle some of the adversity? Why can't Honestly, why can't I get over it? And to be able to have an impact on people's lives is much bigger than mine. It's much bigger than any, medal
Hmm.
or career advancement, anything like that. I remember when I was early on, someone asked me, what I wanted my legacy to be, and I said, if I could just have an impact in one person's life, right, then I had done something. And just to see, younger people, come into the sport, that I was, new to. I tell this story that when I was in the hospital, with an outpatient, I had a friend at the time. His name was Cody Wills, and he was in a similar situation. I had met him through the hospital because he was coming through and he was showing people that were newly injured, how to live an independent life. And he was showing, I remember the first time he showed me how to get in and out of his car and, get around in a wheelchair, all sorts of things. And he was a great resource of mine, at an early stage. And, we had kept in touch, after my injury for a few years. And as I relocated, and then I, moved into Colorado and started this athletic career. And I remember that he had reached out to me and said, I see what you're doing from an athletic standpoint. How did you get into cycling? Right? Like, I would love to try to do something like that. And, fast forward just a few years after that conversation and helping him with equipment and all sorts of things, being able to, you know, pay it back. Now I see him at races. Now he's trying to, really start his next Paralympic journey. And, seeing that come full circle, like having that impact is, it's honestly very hard to describe,
Hmm.
right? So it's just been a great opportunity to have much more of an impact. Um, but yeah, it really is. I think it's finding that purpose, right? Finding that what really is that fire that you're willing to wake up every single day, right? I mean, again, like you said, I'm balancing a full time career at EY with a full time training program now, and I'm up at 4:30, starting my first workout just to get it done. And when I do that, I almost look forward to that, right? Like that's the best time of the day. I always tell everyone when I'm on that bike, it's, when I feel the most free. I'm
Hmm.
out of my wheelchair. I'm another guy on a bike. No one would even know, the situation or the backstory to me if they saw me on the road. They would just see a guy cruising down the road 22 miles an hour, saying, "Look at that guy use his arms, get down the road." Right. So, it's
Wow.
just finding that purpose, finding that passion, and just continue to move forward.